Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I tell you what, there's nothing wrong with the air conditioner in Jacob's room over here at Arkansas Children's Hospital. I'm freezing. So I came outside. They got a little walk area, a little sitting area, whatever you want to call it out here. In between the buildings here. I said, I'm going outside and warming up. I'm cold. I was shivering. So I want to talk about this. Prayer, and more prayer. I was just talking to Shondell, and between her Facebook stuff and my Facebook stuff, we are seeing churches saying that Maranatha Church and Harvest Church and Cash Church, and all these different churches. Those just ones right off the top of my head. Maranatha Church over in Ardmore, and all the way out in Lawton, all the way down in Florida. We got Brother Jared down in Mississippi. His church is praying. You got all these churches in Tennessee. You got churches all the way down to Florida. Churches in California, out in Bakersfield. We got family out there. Churches, they're praying all over the country for Jacob. And that's the power of prayer, and it's working, y'all. His doctor, Dr. Kwan, by the way, who, if you know about my weight loss stuff, my weight loss doctor is Dr. Kwan. Not the same doctor, but it's just real coincidental that his doctor over his eye is named Dr. Kwan, and my doctor that does my weight loss is Dr. Kwan. Just spelt different, but they are Korean looking, so, or Korean descent. So anyways, it is so amazing how when you get a bunch of Christians, what can happen. His pressure in the eye, Dr. Kwan is not worried about the pressure anymore. He said it's in a safe area. They just have to get back to getting the eye in better shape. The iris is detached and several other things. He's going to have a cataract that will have to be taken care of later on. They're already seeing that, and most likely he will have glaucoma also, and we'll have to take care of that also. But he is seeing the little shapes and stuff, so which is a good sign. They're saying as time goes by and the pressure continues dropping and stuff, that he should be able to see more. Now, he's going to have some damage. He's going to have cataract. He's going to have the optical nerve is damaged that goes to the brain. And so we're just going to have to wait and see how much of a loss of vision he's going to have. But still, keep the prayers coming, because at this time yesterday, well, let's put it like this. 20 hours ago yesterday, we were thinking this kid ain't going to see out of that eye ever again. So, and now we're starting to see some little shapes and colors. And so, and the doctors were thinking a lot better than what they was last night, 12 hours ago. So, keep the prayers going. It's amazing. Like I said, all over the country, if we had a map, and if you color in every state that had somebody that said our church is praying, there wouldn't be very many states that were colored in. So that's the amazing power of Christians and churches. Whenever something goes on like this, there's so much power in prayer, and especially when you get a bunch of churches joining in. It don't matter if it's a Baptist church, if it's a Methodist church, a Presbyterian church, a Assembly of God church, Pentecostal church, Southern Baptist church, Free Will Baptist, Independent Baptist. It don't matter. Catholic church, it don't matter. When you get a bunch of like-minded Christians that believe in the power of God and the Almighty God that can save people, powerful things happen. And all over the country, all the way from Hawaii. The Hiltons out in Hawaii are praying for us, saying our church, the new church that we're supporting through our church here, all the way out in Hawaii, they're praying from Hawaii to Florida to California to all places in between, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and everywhere in between are praying for this kid. And he needs it. He needs it. He still needs it. This kid is tough. The more we hear about what's has happened and everything we're figuring out on his damage and what they're figuring out more and more, I'm like, good gosh, we're just so glad that, it hit right here, hit in his eye area. We're just glad it wasn't here, because as far as it went in, I don't think he would have made it, y'all. It went all the way through his cheek into his upper jaw and lodged into his roots of his upper teeth. That's how hard of a hit it was. And so, and the pieces that went in, like fangs, broke off in there. And the surgeons last night said he took them out. They were wedged into the roots of the teeth. And so that's how hard of a hit this kid took. I didn't know how fast the mower blade spin until yesterday morning. I stopped by because I was I just got my mower out of the shop Friday, as a matter of fact. This mower had to replace a blade there. I posted about that, and I got a little pulley that was bouncing around. I just happened to see my mechanic standing outside the mill shop down there, and I said, hey, look at this. And he looks at me and said, oh yeah, you just need to replace that pulley. And I was like, man, I said, all this? And he says, yeah, 200 miles an hour all the time. I was like, mowing 200 miles an hour? And he says, no, that's how fast them blade spins, 200 miles an hour. I thought it'd be faster, to tell you the truth, but once you start thinking about it, if something comes off them blades at 200 miles an hour and hits you in the face, especially something that's jagged, if you've seen the pictures and got points on it, hits you in the face, it's going to do a number. I just thank God that it didn't hit him full on in the eye or hit him down here in the jugular or something. That would have been terrible. So, as bad as it is, it could have been a lot worse. But I'm walking around this hospital up here, and this is a large hospital, and it's all children. And I was thinking about it. Me and Shondell went down to the cafeteria a while ago, and it started getting real busy, and it's all parents. We have to wear these with our kid's name on it, and everybody's wearing these, and it's all kids. This means your kids in here and probably having surgery, and everybody's wearing these, and they're just everywhere. And the cafeteria started filling up, and I started thinking, as bad as it is, I was walking by a couple of rooms, and I'm like, there's some kids that's got a lot worse stuff going on. And we are still so blessed for how this has turned out. Good Lord was watching it, And I was thinking about, when things really start going well, we've heard this before. If the devil ain't messing with you, you need to think about what you're doing. You need to think about what you're doing if the devil ain't messing with you, because he's happy with what you're doing. If the devil is messing with you, there's something going on. There's something going on that he don't like. You're doing something right. If he's just, hey, you keep on doing what you're doing, I'm happy with you, buddy. You're making me look good. That's a problem. But if he's stomping mad because you're out there doing the right stuff, he's going to start messing with you. He's going to start messing with you big time. We've had nothing but problems here in the last week or so. I had to miss Wednesday night because we had some work stuff pop up. Probably see about that in the newspaper here in the next week or two. And then this, I had a mower problem. The weed eater hates me that I use to weed eat around the church. It hates me, and I'm not real fond of it. And it's just one thing after another here lately. And then this, I'm getting my equipment lined out and this and that and everything else, but the devil, I guess he decided, hey, I can't get him on his equipment. Let me attack his family, see what happens. Let me attack their family. Shondell's doing good. Let me attack her boy. If you know Shondell's story, she's never been able to have a baby, never been pregnant in her life. And I got kids from a previous marriage, but this is her baby. And she's taking it very hard. This is her baby, and she's a medical professional, like I mentioned yesterday, and she can't do a thing about it, y'all. She's got her own medical clinic. She works the ER, She's an emergency room provider, and she can't do a thing about this kid. She's not trained on eye stuff, you know. So besides just regular emergency room stuff. And it's killing her that she can't do anything about this. But one thing I'm so proud of her on is when these doctors come in and they start using all these terms and stuff, I just look at her and I'm like, tell her that, you know. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, she's a, you know, provider. They're like, oh, okay. And they start telling her stuff and she starts asking the right questions. I'm like, okay. If they tell me stuff, I'm just going with it. She's asking questions, the right questions. So, Dr. Kwan mentioned this. We might get discharged this evening, but he's possibly going to want us right back in the eye clinic here in the morning to check the eye again, the pressures. And so even if we get discharged tonight, we're still going to have to check into the Motel 2 1/4 or something like that around here. We definitely stayed in the Motel 2 1/2 last night for just a little while. Checked in at 2:30 and we was out of there by 9. $79. But hey, that's part of it whenever you're traveling, right? So at least the bed was nice and the air conditioner was great. It got cold in there. So we will probably, if we do get discharged, they want us back first thing in the morning again. We definitely have to be back on Thursday morning. And so definitely got some traveling coming up. This is part of it, folks. This is part of it. When the devil starts fighting you like this, oh, you know, that's why we got the full armor of God. We got to put it all on because the devil is good at this. And we got to be, you know, praying about it. We got to be prayed up. We got to put that full armor of God on and fighting. And we got to protect our kids. We got to protect our wives and our husbands and all of our friends and protect our church and this, that. I am blessed at my church to have Brother David Bigger there that I can call and say, Brother David, you know, I can't make it. Just like Wednesday night. First time I missed, you know. And, you know, he's like, got it. Don't worry about it, you know. And he took over. Just like last night, you know, can somebody get a hold of Brother David and see if he can cover it? A minute later, you're covered. He's got it. You know, I am so blessed at our church that I have a seasoned 62-year pastor. For 62 years, he was a pastor. And I've got him, you know, there in our church. If I need him, Brother David, what do you think on this? I've done it. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You know, I'm so blessed. But we got to be prepared for this type of stuff. And it's going to get more and more as things go along. So I'm making my laps out here trying to warm up, y'all. It's a beautiful day over here. I mean, beautiful. We finally got him some food. We didn't know it, but you can order a little tablet deal inside of his room. You can order all kinds of stuff. Cheeseburgers and chicken strips. All kinds of stuff, all the trimmings, and he got him some chicken strips and mozzarella sticks and some grapes, all kinds of stuff. Of course, church, he had to, you know, get DoorDashed in Chili's, you know, baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs. For you older ones that remember that from the movie. I want my baby back. Yeah, those, if you remember that movie. So she had to do that. Me and Shondell went down and to the cafeteria, and she had a Cajun something. I can't remember what it was, but I had a big old salad. I didn't know they charged by the pound on it though. The $15 salad, but it was huge, and I still got a bunch left, and I'll have some more later on. But finally got the kid some food. He was hungry. I was feeling sorry for him. And I even mentioned a couple of times, I was like, you know, he ain't had nothing in almost 24 hours, even very little fluids taken in. He needs something. They're like, oh, well, just order some stuff on here. Did they not tell you this? And, no. He's like, no. So ordered him some food, and they finally got it to him. So, but this hospital is amazing. I was talking to Shondell about it in the cafeteria. I said, everybody we run across that works for the hospital is extremely polite welcoming, very helpful, from janitor service to nursing service to even security guys that are walking around are all extremely nice. That's what I told Shondell. They're training these guys to do that. Their human resources are doing a great job on being nice. Put a smile on your face. Be nice. And I really appreciate that. When people are going through a lot worse than what we are here, but when your kids are attacked like this and they get hurt and it just really means a lot whenever you see a friendly face saying, hey, what do you need? That's an employee here. And that really meant a lot to us, So, all right, I'm going to get off here. I think I warmed up pretty good. Got a few steps in here. This is a big hospital. Been doing a lot of walking. You got to walk quite a ways no matter where you go, it seems like. So, I'm going to get off here. Y'all keep praying. Keep praying. He's getting better. But keep praying. Thank y'all for everybody that's offered stuff. We've had people who have came by the house. I think we got people right there now that's checking our house. My deputies, they've came by and checked on the house. I was not able to, put anything up. I wasn't able to do this, wasn't able to do that. I just grabbed some clothes, some hygiene stuff, and took off. Got in the truck and took off over here. And so, got deputies stopping by and checking on her place, checking on her dogs, checking on the goats, even got one a neighbor that said, hey, I'm going to come over and finish up your mowing. They knew what happened, said, we're going to finish up your mowing, don't worry about it, and I really appreciate that. I mentioned this in a sermon, last weekend, I guess it was, about helping each other. Love thy neighbor like yourself, and I love me some me, and I love my neighbors. I said, that's why we mow down the road. It's not even my pasture I'm mowing in front of, but it needs to be done, and we kind of swap off out there on a road that we live on between the neighbors on mowing. And, the same neighbor now is like, man, I'm coming over and I'm going to finish your mowing. Don't worry about it, And I'm like, thanks, We live in a good area. We are so blessed to live in Haskell County. People have sent us money, Cash App us money. That is greatly appreciated. It's not required, y'all. We are blessed financially. We are blessed. It is not required. Put that towards your own family. If you want to help us, come over, feed the dog. That's what we're worried about so much right now. Is just come over. You ain't even got to feed them. Other people have been feeding them. Come over and spend. And if you've ever been around our dogs, they love attention. They love pettings. Lovings. If you want to come over, just pet on Simba. Pull up in the driveway and call him Simba, the big brown dog, big old dog. He'll love to get some pettings. You probably know how to get into our house. Come on in. We'll turn the security system off if you want to love on our dogs. Elsa and the crazy puppies would love to have some lovings. I'm sure they're missing us. So, but as far as financially, it's not required. We appreciate it, but put it towards your own family. I know times are hard right now for everybody. Gas is $4 a gallon, and groceries are high and this and that. We are blessed financially. So, moving on from that, Shondell's clinic will be closed tomorrow. I will not be at work either. I will let everybody know on that, and got plenty of people to fill in that I trust, and they'll do a fine job filling in for me. And Miss Shondell will be back as soon as she can be. Sometimes the little fellers need their mamas, and he's wanting his mama right now. And so we'll be back as soon as we can, most likely tomorrow evening, if not tonight. It'll be late tonight. We are 3 hours from home. So anyways, I'm going to get off here. Getting a little warm now. So I don't know what the temp is, but I got a sunburn on the back of my neck from mowing yesterday, and I can feel it. So God bless. Thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for everything that y'all have done and y'all are doing for us. It means so much. So, and it's working. Keep the prayers coming. Thank you to everybody. I'm going to go back in here, cool off a little bit. It got warm out here now. So thank y'all. If anybody is over in the Little Rock area, if you want to meet up or something like that, we'll be more than happy. And we apparently got some time here. We'll be more than happy to have a cup of coffee with you or something like that. So God bless. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.